Good morning, everyone. It's KOIN 6 Meteorologist Kelley Bayern here in the Weather Center in the KOIN digital booth. Here to bring you another quick forecast update as we head into some hot weather here. You know, we're kicking off our fall season, but also expecting to see some summertime heat sticking around. So again, get ready for temperatures in the 80s and the 90s, even though the calendar is reading late September. We will see some summer-like weather back in the picture. So here's a look at our weather topics of the stream here. We will see a brief heat up. Now, this is not going to be a heat wave. Temperatures will likely hit the 90s tomorrow, but just briefly and for a few hours in the afternoon before we cool right back down. We'll see temperatures in the 70s the rest of the week, and also tracking some rain as we head into midweek, maybe Wednesday. Some soggy conditions back in Portland. So you'll want it all. The tank tops, the flip-flops these next couple of days. Again, dining outside, getting out to get some errands done, some housework done. But then we will see some rain as we head towards the middle of the week. So take a look here at the satellite and radar. I'll pull it large here. We've got lots going on as we look at the satellite picture here. Up to the north, we've got a large low system that is coupled with an atmospheric river. So we are seeing that big plume of moisture that is kind of feeding this storm that will hit areas of Alaska and Canada north of our area. Down to the south, we are building high pressure up. It is going to keep us warm and dry for at least the next couple of days here. So no rain expected for us as we look towards today and tomorrow. We'll then see a system and a front rolling in Wednesday to bring us some rainfall. So still dry for us now. There's your peek at the satellite and radar. We are looking at partly cloudy conditions now. There have been a few very isolated showers over the foothills of the Coast Range in southwest Washington, the Willapa Hills, and also in the Cascades, but pretty dry here around the valley. Just cloudy at some points in our morning and giving us some blue sky too in the mix. So just some patchy clouds around as we set up our Monday. For the coast today, we're expecting to see some nice conditions too. I think we'll get into the 70s out across the coastline. So some beautiful weather to enjoy the sand and maybe not even needing that jacket if you'll be out on the coast today. We'll also see some lighter winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. In Portland today, expect the 80s again. So this is about 7 or so degrees above normal for this point in the year. At this point in September, we should be in the mid 70s. So yeah, building up that heat today. We were in the 80s yesterday too, and it was such a beautiful weekend around Portland. So we'll see some great days, even in the heat tomorrow. Still some great moments in the morning and the late evening to get out and get some things done, like any exercise, any errands, maybe just some playtime outside. Again, today, lower 80s, so that'll feel quite nice out there. And we could see maybe the mid 80s out towards portions of Salem heading into today. So enjoy the sun. Here's our future cast again as we head our way into today. Not expecting any rain. We'll see few clouds too. I think we'll end up mostly sunny by the evening. Tuesday morning, maybe some patchy clouds across the morning, possibly some thicker clouds for the coastline that might bring in just a few sprinkles, but not expecting to see real wet weather until we get to Wednesday. So we keep the sun shining across the afternoon tomorrow here in Portland. Those clouds might increase across the coastline as we await this next storm system shifting in. It's going to be a very robust front, a cold front that likely brings in some soggy moments. And we'll watch this closely. There have been some storms already this year that have kind of fizzled out, models showing hefty amounts of rain, and then, it kind of stalls and it weakens and it brings us maybe a drop or two. So we saw that just a couple weeks ago. I do think this round we will see more hefty rain totals because this is a system that is kind of directed right at us, and models are pretty certain locking in on rain amounts around 1/4 of an inch, and that's all coming within just about 6 hours across the afternoon on Wednesday. So it could be quite soggy as we get our way into Wednesday. So here's the future cast and the timeline. That cold front likely arriving by about midday. It is still early enough in the forecast for the timing of this rain and even the amounts to change. So we are going to keep our eyes on it. But but we're seeing a lot of certainty here on rain amounts. And again, the timing of it right now, models are showing right around midday that front shifts into Portland, and we'll see some rainy conditions as we head our way into the afternoon as that front moves in. Possibly some thunderstorms as well. We'll keep our eyes on that in the forecast if there's any unsettled weather there, but possibly some rain again, and some heavy rain at that as we hit Wednesday night. So be ready. That commute throughout the afternoon on Wednesday could be a rainy one. That may be the day you want to avoid any outdoor activities across the afternoon with that rain moving in. The rest of the week, I think we'll see some great weather. That front moves out fast and quickly as we hit the later evening on Wednesday. So we're likely back to dry conditions as we work our way into Thursday. So again, here's a recap of the rain chances this week. Dry today and tomorrow. Wednesday, looking at some wet weather back in Portland here, especially across the afternoon. And then the rest of the week, Thursday, Friday even, and this weekend, we might be back under this very pleasant fall trend here, sitting in the 70s and plenty of dry time. I do think Friday we could see just a quick shower, but that's one day of a good handful of some very calm and mild weather returning to Portland this weekend. So make those outdoor plans. I'll be outside, maybe getting into some fishing. I've started fly fishing, so I'm excited to check out some rivers. If you have any advice on fishing, please leave it in the comments. But yeah, we'll see some great fall weather here as we hit this weekend. We just have to get through some heat today and tomorrow, and then some rainy weather on Wednesday. So forecast rain totals again, most models have been pretty lined up with amounts right around 1/4 of an inch in Portland. So I do think it could be quite soggy on Wednesday. We dry out quickly into Thursday, but Wednesday afternoon could be quite rainy for us. The coastline could see maybe up to 1/3 to 1/2 of an inch of rain for the north parts as that front rolls in. So be ready for wet weather. I know this dry weather has been fantastic, but we could see just a quick bout of some rain on Wednesday. Our weather pattern, again, showing us that high pressure that has set up, and that will keep temperatures in the 80s and the 90s just for a couple of days this week before that cool down. And I do think there's a bit of a temperature whiplash. Like, we're in the 80s and the 90s today and tomorrow, and then we just drop by about 20 degrees back into the 70s the rest of the week. So maybe a 22-degree change in temperatures this week, going from Tuesday to Friday. So that'll be a dramatic change where you're in a t-shirt, tank top, and then likely in a light jacket by the end of the week. So big changes for us this week. Lots happening. We have some heat. I don't think they're going to open up any cooling centers just because we're in September. If this were the case in June and July, it would be much more impactful heat that is coming. But because it is just one day and for one afternoon where we may only see a couple of hours that we're even in the 90s, it likely won't be as much of an impact as this pattern setting up earlier in the summertime. So just be ready for the heat, stay hydrated, and take some breaks if you are exercising outside in the afternoon, because the 90s definitely will feel hot. And will we see any record highs? Well, the record for Tuesday is 96 degrees, set back in 1974. So unlikely. Most models are topping out somewhere in the low 90s, and we might have just an east breeze through Tuesday morning that might help those temperatures really hike into the 90s by the afternoon under the sunshine. So we'll see where we end up. I think anywhere from 90 to maybe 93 degrees is where we could top out, and likely just below the record high of 96 for Tuesday. So that is something we will keep watching, but don't think we'll break a record here, at least in Portland. If you've noticed over the weekend, the trees have been changing, some colors starting to arrive. My neighborhood in Southeast Portland, there definitely are some trees that are popping in the yellows, and with the sunshine that we're going to get, it always looks extra spectacular. So here's the fall foliage forecast. As we look around the valley, we are expecting to see most of the color coming in the next several weeks. So still some lower color in Portland, but it is starting. Central Oregon and the Cascades have the most color, and I think that might be just because there are exponentially more trees out in the Cascades and in Central Oregon. in Southern Oregon too, and some of the foothills of the Cascades. So that's where most of the color is. And again, we might have to wait till mid-October to see some better color here for us in Portland. So that is something that is exciting and to look forward to. Looks like my graphics maybe have died on me here. I can't quite fast forward into, oh, there we go. The 7-day forecast. This is what I wanted here, just to show you again the temperatures. So we will see warm afternoon today, likely around the lower 80s, and then one hot day tomorrow, briefly hot. So be careful in the heat. You'll still want to drink plenty of water and don't overexert yourself in this heat. But we're dry, we're sunny, beautifully warm, a little hot tomorrow, but some great days ahead for us before we get to that rain on Wednesday. And then we cool down. We're back in the lower 70s to wrap up the week. And right now I see a gorgeous weekend coming up. So our fall weather is just shaping up to be fantastic so far, especially with this past weekend we just had. I do know a lot of the pumpkin patches are finally opening up their pumpkin picking this weekend too. So maybe head out to Sauvie Island or some of your local farms around you here in the Valley in Southwest Washington and have a blast in this weather. We'll keep our eyes on the rain and the heat. Again, we've got our meteorologist Josh Kozart coming in at noon for the forecast update on KOIN 6, and then Natasha Stembach, our chief meteorologist, this evening on KOIN 6. So take it easy, enjoy the weather and the heat and the rain. We will just get a mix of everything as we hit this week. So thanks for tuning in. I'm meteorologist Kelley Bayern once again, and I will see you next time.